things you've been waiting for a long time, for many, many years. And now let's see how badly you want it.
President Donald Trump just presented his budget plan for next year. Now, we shouldn't get too excited because this plan does not carry the weight of law. It's like a wish list, a Christmas list, a piece of fan fiction. It tells us what the Trump administration values.
Now, we've got $300 million. HUD has been kind enough to allow us to put $300 million in.
And when you really dig into it, there's spending cuts in Medicare, about $554 billion over 10 years, and a whole host of other programs like the Environmental Protection Agency. But at the end of the day, this plan amounts to a massive bet. And that bet is that the U.S. economy can run trillion-dollar deficits for the next few years, and the economy will somehow be stronger because of faster growth, and that in the long run will reduce national debt. Now, most economists and even many investors are highly skeptical that the president can get the kind of growth he's talking about 3% a year, 2.8% over the long run. The average forecast is for growth in the long term for 2%. That might sound bad to some people, but that's largely because we have baby boomers retiring. So what this budget does is it adds debt. It also seeks to privatize many of the things that we assume was always going to be the government's responsibility. These include airports like Reagan National and Dulles. It includes the space station, the International Space Station. And the premise here is that private companies can run these businesses and these enterprises way more efficiently than the government possibly could.
Tax. We are going to charge countries outside of our country,
Right now, the U.S. economy is looking pretty solid. Unemployment's at a 17-year low. Growth looks to have picked up slightly, and wages are also doing a little bit better. But if the economy slips, the best laid budget plans are going to get ripped up. The reason why is that when the economy falls, the president and Congress usually snap into action with tax cuts or changes in spending in order to help boost the economy. These 10-year budget plans, they don't assume a recession at all. So we shouldn't look at them as a model of what's likely to happen, but rather an estimate on what an administration would like to see happen if things stay constant.
Right there in Newport News, and we have the largest naval base right there in Norfolk, and infrastructure.
Think about this budget as President Trump drawing his lines in the sand. We're saying, here's what he values, here's what he prioritizes, here's what he would like to see the government look like and do. That's the purpose of this budget. If you're a Democrat right now, you might look at the deficits that are likely in the next few years or the cuts to Medicare funding and say, this is something I can run on that Republicans will have to defend. So even though it doesn't carry the weight of law, it definitely carries the force of electoral politics.